Welcome to the Crafty Mini and the second part of the zombie game. Right, this one we're going to be looking at the sprues for the zombies, both the male and female, and we're going to be making them. Right, things you're going to need. Pair of clippers, preferably with a spring on. These are quite an old pair, but they do the job. Some form of scalpel or X-Acto blade, just to clean off any of the edges that might need doing, and some form of plastic glue. You'll see in the video that I switched from this to a Tamiya clear glue. I just found it reacted better with the plastic. You could use super glue as well. Okay, so before we start anything, a few safety things. One, obviously be careful, you've got clippers, a sharp knife and toxic chemicals here in the shape and form of the glue, so be careful with what you're doing. But yeah, let's go ahead and start our first miniature. Right, so if there's any instructions, then obviously follow those. They're there for a reason. Now with this kit, to be honest, it's pretty much a case of picking your zombie. A few of them have set arms. I think one or two might have a specific head due to the pose, but other than that you got free reign. So what I always do is I go through the sprue and pick out my favourite zombie or favourite miniature, and that's the one I make first, just because it's, you know, it's something that speaks to me. It makes me laugh, or, you know, and this one definitely did make me chuckle. So it's a zombie, quite a chunky guy who's clearly been in hospital. He's got a hospital gown, and if you're on the back of the miniature, his arse is hanging out, which I think is quite funny. But he's actually attached to him is, I'm not sure what you call it, maybe someone can put it in the comments, but it's a stand that you have in hospital that like a drip would be attached to, or a catheter or something like that. But he's got like a little ECG type screen on there, so he's actually pushing this around, which I love. So the first thing I do is identify the pieces that I need, and as I say, if there's anything in the instructions that says, right, that's the pieces to use for this particular body, and obviously use those. But with this, I could pick any arm I wanted, apart from obviously the trolley arm, and I decided to go for a big bald head that was shaved in. I had a big chunk in the back of his skull missing, which I thought looked kind of cool. And just while we're on the subject of the actual miniatures, so again, these are from Warlord Games, but some of the details on these are brilliant. So you'll see there on the far left, I think I'll come back to it, that's the one I was on about in the previous video that's been run over. It's got tyre treads. There's plenty of arms with like skin missing or just showing bones or half eaten. There's a lot of gore on this, which is pretty cool. But onto the model. So first thing you do after you've clipped the miniature out, whether you clipped it off the actual sprue, there'll be little tabs of plastic that just need shaving off. So take your time with the X-Acto blade and just go around just shaving those off. Obviously if you're a child doing this, go and get an adult. Should be self-explanatory. You know, it is a sharp blade. Also on some miniatures like this, you'll find roughly in the halfway line down the length of the miniature is a mould line where the mould has been pressed together. So and all I do is just scrape just gently and get rid of that, just because it makes the paint job a lot easier later on. So I'm just going through every single piece now, just getting rid of all those little tabs that might be left, just so when I come to glue everything, it's going to glue exactly as I need it. Now the eagle-eyed of you might have spotted that I'm missing a piece here, because the little trolley that he's pulling around should actually have 4 legs in like a cross, but I'll find that later on and add it on. Now also with a miniature like this that's got a miscellaneous item attached to it, it's obviously going to take up more space on the base itself, so that's something to consider. And you'll see in this that I actually glue it on, start to glue it, and I realise this a bit too late, so I have to pull it off and just realign it, just to make sure it fits. Now with this step you can spend as much or as little time as you want. For me, I really want to pimp this game up and make it look super cool, so I'm going to spend a lot of time with it and make sure I get as much of these mould lines and things off as I can. Right, and so when it comes to gluing, obviously different glues do different things. Now this is an extremely thin clear glue that actually melts and bonds the plastic together, so you have to hold it for a few seconds and then attach it. And you'll see here now, this is where I put the body on and I go, oh hang on, actually I've given myself enough room for the stand initially. So, you know, things change. But yeah, always read the information about your glue. Super glue will be a big thick glob, but can also dry and leave a residue on there, so you've got to look at these sort of things. And don't do what I did at the start of the video there, which is go straight to the base. Depending on the miniature, sometimes you might want to, you know, put the arms and head on first in this case, and then glue it to the base, just so you get the spacing right. And you can see there, so he's not overhanging the base at any point. All his feet and the actual stand that he's pushing are all on there. And this stuff sets pretty quick. You just leave it for a couple of seconds, and then what you can do, because it's got a really thin brush and it's an extremely thin glue, is just run it around the edges. And what this will do is basically the glue's so thin it'll run in underneath and make sure that bond's tight. Also, you can see me here on a few models, I'll actually be running the glue up and down just where that mould line was, because it just, again, just helps to soften the plastic, and it won't destroy the glue as long as you don't pour it on. But yeah, it's pretty quick bonding stuff, this. It's very smelly, that's one thing I will say, so make sure you got a window open, or if you want to put a mask on. But you can see here I'm just changing the foot, and I want to make sure it fits absolutely right so nothing's overhanging. And for his second arm, I found this really just gruesome one, so it looks like it's been chewed off, the hand's gone, and along with the big bite in the back of his head, it just looks like obviously he's been attacked while he's been at the hospital, and now he is roaming about trying to feed on humans. But yeah, I'll get the crossbar put into the stands all right, and you see a close bit. This is it's just a cool miniature. It's going to be a joy to paint, especially the hospital gown. But yeah, a lot of character, a lot of fun. Right now, so I've got, it works out, because there's a few extra bits that you can actually make half zombies from. So I've got about another 22, maybe 23 zombies to make from both sprues. So what I do is I'm a bit anal about this, so I make sure I've got all the arms, all the legs and the heads with a base for each zombie. Go through, and then I make sure that they've all been trimmed, all the little nubs have come off. If I do find the odd one like here, or if I want to quickly change something, and then any spares I'll have a pile in the side, because if something doesn't quite fit or doesn't look good, I can change it. And then I've got them all in their individual piles as if it was a deconstructed miniature, and then I go through and just blitz the lot, go away through and glue everything. So we're going to time lapse all this now, so sit back and enjoy the tunes. Right, and there we go, done. This is the zombie horde. This is both packs, both sprues, sorry, the men and the women. Some absolute corkers in here, some really fun characters as well. We'll do some close-up shots in a sec so you get to see them all. But for me, the sort of, if you will, the king and queen, hospital guy, and there's this weird, I assume she's an exotic dancer, but I've just done her with her arms out as if she's posing for a dance or a photo. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed this. Enjoyed the photos. So that is the end of episode 2. So I hope that explains how you actually build a miniature from sprue right the way through to the final thing. And then upcoming we'll have like building the survivors, and then obviously going on to painting and other stuff. But yeah, cheers for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and all that stuff. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.